Hey, good morning, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me here on Wave Now. I'm Myra Ansari. So we are going live to Metro United Way. They're holding a press conference. If you rely on SNAP benefits and you're worried about what your future is going to look like, this is really important for you to listen and to share this with others. So Metro United Way, they're announcing a $500,000 donation, and they're going to be launching the Hardship to Hope Food Relief Fund. So this fund will provide Kroger gift cards directly to SNAP recipients with at least one child under 18 or an elderly individual in a home. So Metro United Way is giving us some more information about this. So I wanted to bring this to you live here because we know a lot of folks are worried about how they're going to put food on the table for their families. So let's just wait for this press conference to get started and you can watch it live.
We have one more news station. Hey, Andrew, nice to see you. Good morning. I am Adria Johnson, President and CEO here at Metro United Way, and I really appreciate you guys being with us this morning. I also am incredibly appreciative of our partners that have joined us. We have Dare to Care, Louisville Urban League, Labor Friends from the United Food and Commercial Workers Local 227, Greater Louisville Inc., and the Association of Community Ministries. Today in our greater Louisville region, 1 in 7 people are already food insecure, and 1 in 5 children don't have consistent access to the nutrition they need to learn, grow, and play. This isn't theoretical. It's the 3rd grader who can't focus by 10 a.m., the senior choosing between groceries and medication, and the parent skipping dinner so their kids can eat. Tomorrow, November 1st, 60,000 families in our 7-county region, that's 120,000 of our neighbors, face immediate risk of losing access to vital nutrition support as SNAP benefits are in grave jeopardy for those households. That means real uncertainty and anxiety about where their next meal will come from. We have incredible organizations working tirelessly, but this level of need is bigger than any one organization. 79% of SNAP households include either a child, an elderly individual, or a non-elderly individual with a disability. As our neighbors face a loss of these vital federal funds that provide a lifeline, families face an already growing risk of hunger, and our food banks are experiencing overwhelming demand that they simply can't meet alone. This is not okay. Nobody should be hungry in our country and in our community, period. In this moment, we are stepping up to help those who need it most together. Today, Metro United Way is launching the Hardship to Hope Food Relief Fund with an initial $500,000 investment. This is fast moving, and we are incredibly grateful to the organizations and the companies that have made early commitments to support our community. We would like to thank the Caesars Foundation of Floyd County, GE Appliances, LG&E KU Foundation, Republic Bank Foundation, and UPS Foundation. And thanks to our friends at Kroger for helping us to coordinate this effort. So beginning on Monday, SNAP-eligible families with children or seniors will be able to fill out a simple application form on our website and receive a digital gift card from Kroger. This will enable households to conveniently shop for the groceries and nutrition they need. 100% of additional dollars donated to this fund will be used for direct support to families that need food. To donate, visit metrounitedway.org/relief-fund. I'll share more details about the Hardship to Hope Relief Fund in a few moments, but I'd like to give our partners an opportunity to talk about this crisis facing our community and how we are all working together to address this. I would now like to ask Vincent James with Dare to Care to the podium.
Thank you, Adria, and thank you all for being here today. I am excited to be able to be here because in representing Dare to Care, we see a lot of things happening on the front lines with families who are really struggling, who are waking up every morning and trying to figure out, what am I going to feed my kids? What am I going to eat today? And how am I going to make it? Let alone, this was occurring before the SNAP benefits potentially being discontinued for lack of funding. This has been a challenge in our community where 1 in 7 individuals are experiencing food insecurity. And for our children, every 1 in 5 child is experiencing food insecurity. Behind those numbers are neighbors. They're real people that are experiencing this. And so we're excited to be able to be here today, to be able to share in this experience when we realize that mothers are waking up in the morning and they're trying to figure out, am I going to be able to eat with my children today or not? What is happening? How are hardworking people that work every day, they can't make ends meet, and trying to figure out, am I going to pay for my medicine? Am I going to put gas in my car? Or am I going to buy food? These are difficult decisions that no human being in the wealthiest country in the world should ever have to make. When we think about the impact of the loss of SNAP benefits, that's $16 million a month of benefits that come into our community. That is going to be gone. That is no longer going to be in existence in terms of if the government does not reopen. And all indications, it's not going to happen. And so we as a community have to figure out, how do we come together and work together? That's why this time with these organizations coming together with Metro United Way, Dare to Care, and the Urban League, and many others organizations across the city are really working diligently and hard to fill the gap. But just to give you a perspective, that $16 million is for 1 month. That is more than Dare to Care's annual budget in terms of our fundraising that we raise. And so that's why it's going to take all of us working together diligently and getting out of our silos and saying, we're going to do something together about it. That's what's really this moment in time. It calls for courageous leadership. And so I want to thank Adria for reaching out to us and others who are reaching out to us to be able to support our most vulnerable neighbors, our children and our seniors. For me, there is no way that a person who worked all of their life in retirement now is struggling to put food on their table. Again, it's just unconscionable to think that this is happening, but it's real. It happens every day, and it's an opportunity for us to do something about it, not only for today, because this is a moment in time, but we need to think about the future for long, sustainable approaches and strategies that we can work together to be able to resolve these issues and challenges and to end food insecurity in our community. We know it can be done. The numbers show $40 million gap. There's a $40 million gap in families in terms of entire in Jefferson County, that if it was infused in the families that needed the most, it would end food insecurity in our community. So working together, thinking about how we can overcome this, and not only thinking about it, but doing something about it. So that's why we are here, to be able to support the efforts of Metro United Way, to support the efforts of the Urban League and many other organizations across our community that are making an impact every day. Organizations that you may not ever hear about, but they're on the ground laboring, serving our neighbors as best they can. These resources will be able to infuse a life to those who feel lifeless and hopeless. And that's why we're standing with excitement to know that this community that has always risen to the occasion is once again going to rise to the occasion and serve our neighbors who are most vulnerable. So thank you, Adria. Thank you, Lyndon. We are so excited to be able to partner and work with you and continue to work in community to make a difference. And next coming up is Lyndon Pryor, who is the president and CEO of the Louisville Urban League.
Good morning, and thank you, Adria. Thank you, Vincent, for you all's leadership in this time and in this moment. I am Lyndon Pryor, President and CEO of the Louisville Urban League. And on yesterday, we hosted a call of more than 130 individuals representing dozens of organizations across the city and across the Commonwealth of Kentucky who operate and do work in and around the food space. Just to underscore what Vincent just said and what Adria lifted up, food insecurity in our community is not new. The fact that there were 130 folks and dozens of organizations who have been doing this should tell us that people have been working on this issue, fighting against this issue for a very long time, for decades, in fact. Unfortunately, this current crisis has simply shown a brighter light on that issue in our community. Unfortunately, those folks charged with leading us and serving us have decided that people need to choose between food and healthcare. And that is unconscionable, to use Vincent James's words. But there are things that we can do. As our most vulnerable in our community, our Black and brown neighbors, our elders, our young people, those who may be infirmed or dealing with health issues as they struggle with food insecurity, Louisville can, and I truly believe that we will respond. In addition to the great work that Dare to Care is doing and that our ministries are doing, there are dozens of organizations that are active in our communities, providing food, collecting food, distributing food to ensure that our most vulnerable neighbors have food to eat. And I am calling on, and the Urban League and others are calling on your support, this community's support, to help them as well. Later today, we're going to be putting out a release with links to some of those organizations and some of those efforts that are taking place right here and right now in our community. And I'm asking that Louisville step up and support those, in addition to Dare to Care, in addition to the ministries. Some of these smaller organizations are doing great work feeding hundreds and thousands of people, because we have to remember, not everybody qualifies for SNAP. Not everybody is able to access a pantry. And so there are people who need our support and who need to have food just like everyone else, who may not be able to get to those major resources. And there are people in our community who are doing that work. Organizations like Feed Louisville, like Change Today, Change Tomorrow, like Kentucky Harvest, like the Food Literacy Projects, and many, many others who are doing great work in our community, and they need our support too. This is not a competition. This is about ensuring that everybody who needs to eat has access to food. And so I'm asking for our community, our corporate partners throughout this community, for our churches and congregations, for other organizations, our Greek letter organizations who are doing work, to tap in, to find a place where you can do something, whether that is donating canned goods, whether that is donating money, which money goes a lot further than a canned good, but it's all necessary, or showing up to volunteer. There are opportunities for you to come out and lend a hand to some of these organizations doing great work, but find a place where you and yours can tap in and be a part of the solution. And before I take my seat, I will say, after you have tapped in on this crisis, stay plugged in. This issue is not going away. Like I said, it existed before this particular crisis. It will be here after. And so we are going to need people to be engaged long-term for this. We have to think about long-term solutions about how we solve food insecurity in our community, because there is no reason for anybody to be without food. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to Caitlin Blair, who is with United Food and Commercial Workers. Thank you.
Am I going to break this if I... Can everybody hear me? Okay. Good morning, and thank you for inviting me to be here. My name is Caitlin Blair. I'm with the United Food and Commercial Workers Local 227. For those of you who may be unfamiliar with our union, a majority of our members make and sell you the food that you eat every day. I'm not just here for my union, though. I'm here on behalf of the entire labor community. And I know my union siblings from UAW 862 are also here. Kentuckians on SNAP are not strangers. They are hardworking people. They're our neighbors. They work in grocery stores. They work in plants. They work as home health care aides. They're the people that keep our communities running every single day. SNAP is not a handout. It's a hand up. It's intended to support families going through tough times. And let's face it, these are really tough times for working families. Our members, when you shop at unionized grocery stores like Kroger and Meijer and Rainbow Blossom on Bardstown Road, our members know you. They see you every single week when you buy your groceries. And in talking to them, one of our members who's a cashier told me this week, an elderly woman in her check lane, in tears, was putting things back because she didn't have enough money to get the things that she needed. And she said to our union member, "I don't know how I'm going to get through the next month. I'm scared." Another one of our members, who's also a cashier, in their check lane, said a dad said to them, when they take away food stamps next month, "I'm gonna starve. All of the food that I'm able to afford is gonna go to my kids, and I hope it's gonna be enough, but I don't know how I'm gonna make it." Some of our members are telling us that their stores are seeing record sales for turkeys this week. Let's let that sink in for a minute. People are sacrificing today so that they can buy their Thanksgiving turkey while they still can afford it, so that they can celebrate Thanksgiving and cherish their loved ones. These are real people. They're our neighbors making impossible decisions. But that's not the only way that our community is going to feel this pain. 80% of SNAP dollars are spent at traditional grocery stores like Kroger. The other 20% are spent at non-traditional grocery stores like Meijer or Rainbow Blossom. Less customers, less sales mean less hours for my union members, which means less money in their paychecks and less money in our local economies. Everyone is affected. Everyone. In Kentucky, we're about community. When our neighbors are in trouble, we show up and we don't let them go hungry, which is why our union and the entire labor community is proud to stand shoulder to shoulder with every partner, every company, every Kentuckian that's going to work hard to make sure that our community does not go hungry. So I want to thank the Metro United Way for your leadership on this, and thank you all for allowing me to be a part of this and to give voice to the hardworking people who both have SNAP, need SNAP, so that their families don't starve, but the hardworking people in our food supply chain that are going to be affected by these cuts. So thank you all. And I'm going to introduce Troy Burden, the Executive Director at Highlands Community Ministries.
Good morning. Again, I'm Troy Burden. I'm the Executive Director at Highlands Community Ministries, but in this role today, I'm representing the Association of Community Ministries. There are 13 community ministries who serve every household in Jefferson County, and we do that through building community and having neighbors help neighbors. Like others have said, this is not a new problem. However, it's being underscored by the cutting of the SNAP benefits. We've been seeing an uptick of 20 to 40% within the last several months coming to our community ministry food pantries. And last week, people were coming in more out of fear necessarily than necessity, because they're anticipating what's going to happen. They're anticipating that occasionally using the food pantry to help SNAP beneficiaries is going to become something they have to do every week. And so here in Louisville, we are neighbors helping neighbors. All of these people are helping people that are their neighbors. You may not even know who's on SNAP benefits, but it doesn't matter. We're all neighbors, and it has been amazing the last couple of days since we've started sending up the flag saying we need help. The neighbors have really stepped up. I've spent half of my day yesterday and Wednesday just meeting cars and unloading groceries into the food pantry, and they were going out just as quickly. And so it was a lovely thing to see that the community is really stepping up. And of course, the nonprofit community with the leadership of the United Way, we are really going to be able to help people through this crisis, because neighbors helping neighbors. So again, look to where you can donate food. Food goes in and out quickly. Money is very helpful, because then food can be purchased. And there are lots of people who are delivering these services across our community. And so I am so thankful that this is happening, and I'm so grateful to be part of this great group of nonprofits under the leadership of the United Way. And now Miriam Nally, who's the Vice President of Operations with Greater Louisville, will come.
Good morning. I'm Miriam Nally, Vice President of Operations at Greater Louisville, Inc., and I'm proud to be here representing the business community and all the businesses that GLI represents across the 15-county region. We have a thriving community, and we have a thriving economy, and when the workforce is threatened by that, we have to band together. And so when we can't provide basic assets for our workforce like food, there needs to be some bound that we're coming together on this. We have some great partners with Metro United Way, Dare to Care, the Louisville Urban League, and we are so happy to partner up with that. Thank you for providing those funds and gathering those funds and being the beacon for this community. I encourage, and we all encourage, individuals and businesses to band together and donate how they can donate, whether that's through gift cards, through funds, or through the various websites that our partners have mentioned today. Together, we can make a difference for our families that are the most vulnerable in our community. So thank you for inviting me here today, and the business community is here to support how we can support. I'll pass it back over to Adria.
Thank you again to all of our partners who are here and doing their part to help solve this crisis for our neighbors. I now want to go over some details about how households that are facing absence or reduction of SNAP benefits can access relief through the Hardship to Hope Food Relief Fund. So beginning on Monday, November 3rd, residents in Jefferson County can fill out a simple form on our website where they will upload proof of their SNAP eligibility. Once their eligibility is verified through our community partner, which will be the Association of Community Ministries, that household will receive a digital gift card, which will enable them to purchase between $200 and $350 worth of groceries. The gift card amounts will vary depending on the size of the household and are designed, to help recipients purchase 1 to 2 weeks of food. The Metro United Way team is working diligently with other agencies in Bullitt, Oldham, Shelby, Clark, Floyd, and Harrison counties to scale this up and plan to have this support for our neighbors there operational by the end of next week. Our team has been working very hard this week to devise this system of support, and we are moving very quickly. So we ask for your patience and understanding and your trust that we will work to resolve any operational issues that we may encounter as quickly as possible. I want to emphasize that we will initially be prioritizing households with kids or seniors that were expecting their SNAP assistance in the first week of November. The need is great everywhere, but especially for those families that have been waiting on these critical resources to buy nourishment. We know there are multiple court cases about SNAP funding, but regardless of the outcome of those, benefits will be significantly delayed and likely reduced. We know that in this moment, as families go to bed tonight wondering how they will eat tomorrow, we each need to do our part to let them know there is hope and relief in sight. You've heard the call. You've heard it rallied by everybody that spoke this morning. This is the time that requires our community in its entirety to rally together. I think Lyndon said it best. Everyone can find a way to tap in and stay in. If you need help, reach out to individuals, our business community, our foundation community. Please give and donate if you are able to do so. And if you want to protect SNAP, let our elected officials know how important this program is to our community. You can contact them through an action alert on our website, metrounitedway.org. Thank you so much for being here. United truly is the only way. Thank you.